Okay, ready? Good evening, everybody. Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Jacksonville North Classic School District will be the model district where every learner is valued and empowered to become a successful contributing member of society. And it's our mission to foster a culture of ownership and accountability through partnerships that create multiple pathways for success. Mr. Moore, would you please call the roll?
Sure will. Carl Smith.
Here.
Daniel Gray.
Here.
Ava Coleman.
Here.
Jim Moore here. Ron McDaniel. Present. Dina Rockway.
Here.
Lauren Martin.
Here.
Laura Walker. She's not here.
If you'll join me for a moment of silence, followed by the pledge of Mr. McDaniel. Please,
Join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
all righty. First thing we've got is a legal update. I don't see Scott. Are you giving the legal update this evening?
Well, he actually said Mr. Richardson did call and asked if he needed to be here. He's working on a couple of things for us, title search. Well, he actually completed that, and that's going to be part of my superintendent's report on this new property that we just discovered. So he worked on that for us, and then we also received a letter from a neighbor of the district office about parking lot space, and so he's working on that as well to address those concerns.
All right. So next item we've got is facilities update. It's all Matthew. It's all you, man. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you guys tonight? Matthew Swain, WR Architects. Just a quick update. Still working on a few things at the middle and elementary schools. Those are pretty much both complete. Little hiccups here and there that we're trying to sort out. But for the most part, those are pretty much done. Okay. We have delivered a 95% review set of the middle school addition to Baldwin and Shell.
Is that microphone?
Work.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
How does it work? What? All right, that's better.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so the middle school edition, we've delivered what we're calling a 95% set to Baldwin Shell, and also reviewed that with the school district, district office personnel last week. And that goes to state agencies tomorrow, and it'll roughly be a month after that, then Baldwin Shell will be able to bid the project out. So where that's going along pretty well. Bobby and Taylor updates were essentially complete with schematic design documents. We will be submitting that to Baldwin Shell next Monday after we wrap a few things up. And we're waiting on the close of the Bobby property to get geotech investigators involved. And we want to know if you guys want to have a board workshop on that after our schematic design.
Board workshop on both Taylor and Bimeda?
Taylor and Bobby, yeah, just to show you what our progress is and show you the plan, so.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will say that a survey has been completed, and Mr. Nicholson is getting a copy of that. And I think verbally we're all on the same page. So once he gives his blessing, then we'll get it to the title company, and hopefully we're closed on that before we meet next month. So hopefully that'll be a done deal.
Yeah, and I don't see any, I mean, so far with Mr. Nicholson, everything's going pretty smoothly. So I think that I wouldn't see any reason why you wouldn't want to do a full workshop. So I don't know if you want to do that in April, or if you want to wait till May after the property closes, whatever you guys want to do.
Right.
May.
Okay, so it gets done before May. But we only have, 2 weeks left?
I would say it's going to be
Only
May.
April 4th.
Yeah,
It goes fast.
it'll still probably, just for legal reasons, take about 30 days to close on the property, right?
Sure. Yeah, we'll set something up in May.
Say something up in May. Okay, sounds good. And I don't know if you guys had a rough schedule for the Taylor and Biology projects in your packet or not. Provide one to Dr. Stein, I'm not sure.
I think we have posted it the last time that you gave it to us, so it may have been in the prior board packet.
Okay.
That's right.
That's fine. Well, really what we're shooting for is the June 2024 move-in, which we talked about as a board, as you talked about as a board a couple of months ago. And that's mainly due to supply chain issues that we're having right now and all that other stuff. So we're looking at both schools, July 2024 will be our move-in, so.
All right.
Okay.
Questions?
On the middle school edition, where is that going, Kathy?
So that's going on, okay, so if you're on Lemon Lane looking at the middle school, it's going on the side that doesn't have the basketball courts at the end. So it's gonna come out almost to the retention pond there that's in the front, which you may not know is a retention pond, but it's the little swale area. So it'll come out almost to that.
Okay.
So that left wing will be just extended out. How many classrooms are we in it?
It's gonna be 8 classrooms,
8 classrooms.
And an additional.
and 2 sets of restrooms. Restrooms up and down.
I think that right now they got over 1,000 at the middle school. Is that pretty close to
A little less than that. We're covering a little over 800. But they're continuing to receive additional students. So right now it's about 860. That's 863. 860.
And 8 classrooms gives you room for how many more? Is that like 25 per classroom?
Well, it's going to be more than that. With secondary, you can rotate more. But how many?
So when we originally designed the middle school, we designed it for 850 students, and the full build out was for 1,050 students.
And the cafeteria and the media center, all that stuff was built for.
Cafeteria and media center were built to expand that, for the size. The cafeteria, the media center, and the gym were built for the 1050.
As of this morning, we had 854 students enrolled. So that's the exact amount.
All right, any other questions? Very good, sir, thank you very much. All right, that takes us to superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. Just a reminder that April, this month, is the month of our the military child. So every Monday, we're wearing purple, so we encourage you to do so. And of course, we'll continue to honor and appreciate our military children because we know that they have to endure more than just our normal teenagers and young people. And so, especially when their parents are deployed. And so we want to make sure that we continue to honor and celebrate them this month. In continuation with the first mention of what I mentioned during the legal report, we had a request about 2 months ago about a property that we didn't know about. It's north of Biomeda. Actually, I believe the street above, north of Biomeda, you make a left, Centennial Drive is the old North Pulaski Recreation Park or facility. It's the baseball field, and it looked like it had a main baseball field and a practice and a few dugouts and then a concession stand. And so Mr. Richardson, Mr. Gray and I actually walked this facility. It's definitely grown with grass and it's very outdated, but we have a person that's interested, and so we wanted to make sure that the district did own that property. And so Mr. Richardson did find the deed that was signed from Pulaski County over to Jacksonville, North Pulaski. So hopefully in a month or so, we'll be bringing forth to you a bill of sale or proposed sale if it goes forth. So any questions about that?
Tell me again where it is.
It's off of Centennial Road, and it's actually has a cabin. It's listed as a cabin address, but it was owned by Pulaski County. It's an old baseball park. It's do you remember it's street right
Is it the
north.
street past by Maida?
Pass by
Centennial.
to the left, yes.
And then the old ballpark,
Ball-
Pulaski ballpark, okay,
It was now known as the North Pulaski Recreation
yeah.
Park.
And someone wants to buy that? Nice. I had
We
no
just-
idea we had it.
And it, I mean, so I didn't know what was out there either, and we still need to get inside the concession stand and see what's in there, but there's some, they just made an offer based on the land. And I don't know really I have to do a little bit more research, but I don't know if it has any value or if it needs to be torn down and then that land, yeah. But we need to get inside the building and see what's inside, maybe a concession stand.
You got the keys?
Not yet. I don't think there will be keys, but we'll gain access. So, there you go.
Any other questions?
Just a comment. I talked to Dr. Owen about Jan Crow Stadium and the idea to see if we could get the Parks and Rec to take over that stadium and make it a park. Because otherwise, it's just sitting over there. Just sitting over there. I mean,
We have had some requests from community members to be able to access the track so they can walk around it. And currently, if I'm incorrect, of course, Dr. Walker, Mr. Lester, please chime in. But currently, there's really not a use for the district right now. We may have some practice on there and some, but on a daily use, and especially on the weekend, we're not using it. So.
who's maintaining mowing the lawn and all that other stuff? Is it the city?
No,
Or us?
the district, we, of course, we still own it, so.
Yeah.
Our maintenance team continues to maintain.
Can we utilize that space for like a new Titan baseball field or anything like that? Convert it into something that we can do?
There's, a lot of possibilities, yes, that's one of the opportunities we could do, the options that we.
That way we're not relying on city field, we have our own.
I'm just throwing out an idea to,
Need
get rid of it.
Now, I will
So
say,
enough.
I will tell you, short term, Baldwin and Shell would utilize that parking lot, the gravel parking lot for setup for when they start the second phase. And so anything that we will do in the future, that would have to be after their machinery and supplies are removed.
Anyone interested in talking to the Parks and Recreation Commission about that in the future? I'd be glad to.
I think why don't we have further discussion on that at the workshop, when we talk about facilities, I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Ron, did they approach us or are you throwing it out there?
What's that?
Did they approach us?
No,
You're just throwing it out
I'm
there?
just trying to figure out what to do with
Okay.
it because it's just deteriorating over there and, knock down some buildings, really make some green space and make it a park.
It's a good idea. Let's, we can put it on the agenda for the workshop, talk about it further, and maybe get someone from the city and Kevin can join us for the conversation.
And the last thing for the superintendent's report is we have been asked for a potential partnership with the Children's Protection Center out of Little Rock. They are located a satellite office here just because of the need that has come out of this area. And for some of you, and for our audience to bring some connection about the Children's Protection Center. As educators, we're mandated reporters. And one of the things that I learned that, I never knew what happened to our young people on the other side after we make the call. Well, Children's Protection Center actually provides all of those services together. So the investigators, DHS, any therapists that our scholars may need, they provide all of those support services in one location so that the young person is not inundated with multiple interviews. And they also provide additional services for the parents if the parent is not the aggressor or the assailant. And Colonel Smith also toured. I'm actually fortunate to serve on the board, but Colonel Smith and his wife toured the facilities. And so, long story short, they were looking for, it's a nonprofit organization looking for a space. And so we have a partnership of the potential, the opportunity to partner with them with our space within the district. And so we looked at a space that's not currently being used at Pinewood. Many of you know that we're changing Pinewood into a learning center. So our curriculum instruction team will be housed there. Our special education team is already there. The warehouse, child nutrition. And so there's a part in the front that through their partners, which are also Ball and Michelle, they will be able to outfit that part and utilize it for a satellite office here in Jacksonville. And so I just wanted to bring that to your attention and just know that there could be a potential request, official request in the next month or so. I just wanted to inform you all of that. Any questions?
Since Dr. Orr's on the board and I donate to him, I can tell you how to donate money to the organization too.
Thank you. Any other questions? If there are not any other questions, that ends my superintendent's report.
I had one, sorry.
Oh, yes, sir.
So on the 21st of April, we'll be having Honorary Commander induction ceremony on the base. And so it brings me great happiness to share that Dr. Ola has been nominated as the 19th Mission Support Group Honorary Commander. So he will be inducted on the day. His responsibilities will include when I go TDY, that you'll run the base.
Now, Carmen, you didn't say that. You just said I could attend the party.
He'll be the mayor. Will he be the mayor of the base?
You will. This is just, again, kind of a testament to the type of leader he is in the local community, this recognition, and just to continue to grow the relationship we have between school and base. So really excited for that. So.
You don't put captain on him or something like that?
Colonel.
Colonel?
Yeah. I think Colonel's the equivalent rank, so yeah.
What time is it?
It is, sorry.
What time?
21st.
Noon,
11 a.m.
11
Yeah, that's correct, 11 a.m.
at the,
Hangar 1080.
Hangar 1080.
You'll get us on if we need help. Get my dad to bring.
All right, very good. All right, next item we've got is a consent agenda. Is there anything on there that needs to be pulled out for discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion.
second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. All right, second reading for the licensed personnel military leave, amendment to our policies.
Yes, sir. Again, good evening, board members. You have before you the second reading. First, our policy 3.14, which is centered on the military leave. This is the second reading, but you also have the opportunity to move this to an action item.
All right, what's the pleasure of the board? So let's go ahead and move forward with this.
I'll make the motion.
All right, we've got a motion to move forward.
Yes.
Put it in the policy.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes.
Thank you.
All right, so next item we've got is 3.22 and 8.16 license and classified personnel appropriate dress proposal. And this is the second reading. And can we go ahead and move forward on the action there as well?
Yes, it's second reading or action item. And I will tell you both PPC groups, classified and licensed, review the suggested language, proposed language, and they supported it, but they also, and this is just indicative of the character of our team, they wanted to make sure that they had a set of guidelines for our staff. And so instead of making a policy and have a rigid policy of dress code, they are sharing additional guidelines of appropriate professional attire to both the classified groups and licensed groups. And so the PPC chairs took care of that. So, but they wanted to make sure that everyone was reminded what the guidelines of our appropriate dress is in this district.
Very good. So we have that in our packet as far as the changes to the policy, the wording. Do I hear a motion? Or is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept those changes
Okay.
to our policy.
A motion on the floor and a second. Any further discussion, questions? All in favor? Opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Next item, we've got an addendum before us on the additional compensation for pandemic-related work. And I would entertain a motion to add that item to the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so there we go. Addendum for additional compensation. I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Board members, again, we have before you, one of the things that we discussed in November as we prepared for the first half of the bonus, you all charged me to go back to see if we could do additional financial support for our classified. Because at this point, they would only, in May, the remaining part of their bonus would be $200, and then the licensed staff would be $1,000. So we went and looked at the additional work that all of our staff members have been doing throughout the year. And it's just reality that COVID-19 has caused a lot of additional work on our staff members. And so before you, a proposal that would be funded by the ARP ESSER 3 funds based on attendance, we would pay additional pay $11 a day for all of our staff members below, assistant superintendent and below, across the district. And so the amount would be different based on the number of days worked this school year, this entire school year. But everyone will receive the $11 per day.
That based on attendance.
Based on the work days, yes, sir, the day's work.
All right. Questions?
So
One-time payment that will come, we're shooting for May, but at the latest in June. And again, the funding source is not operating as ESSER. And of course, that the guidelines and stipulations that have been set forth by the federal government as well as state government, they do allow this as support.
So moved.
All right, got a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. All right, good job. All right, donations, First United Methodist Church.
Yes. As we continue to close buildings and start our auction process of the excess materials and resources that we have in our buildings, we also want to give local community organizations the opportunity if they need material or resources from the schools. And so we were happy to be able to partner with First United Methodist Church. They needed 10 tables and 60 chairs. And so this is on the agenda for your approval to move forward with that donation to them.
All right,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I like that after-school literacy.
Yes, sir.
I do too.
All right, next time you've got this personnel, we do have another addendum on our table. So I would entertain a motion to add the addendum to the personnel.
Motion to add the addendum.
Second.
Personnel.
All right, motion and a second. All in favor for adding the addendum?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so that's added. So then we've got personnel recommendations before us, and I would remind everyone that any discussion on personnel or questions need to be handled in executive session. So what is the pleasure of the board?
Motion to move into executive session.
All right, we'll move into executive session and have a brief discussion.
Very good. I think you can do it.
All right.
I've met everything.
Go ahead and call the meeting back to order. We're back in regular session. We've got a recommendation from, do I hear a recommendation from Dr. Owen?
Yes, sir. The district, I recommend the approval of personnel as listed.
All right. So we've got our personnel listed in the addendum as well. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion.
All right, motion and a second to approve the superintendent's recommendation. All in favor? Opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Next item, we've got student disciplinary actions, and I think we've got 2 this evening. All right, I think everybody had a chance to react. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion, we accept the expulsion of this scholar
All right,
as listed.
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. And I think that is the last student disciplinary action, yes, sir? Go ahead.
Just, I meant to do this during my superintendent's report, but we did receive a thank you card. And I want to share this with the board as well as our audience. It says, to my JNPSD family, I'm extremely grateful for all of the messages and expressions of sympathy and the loss of my mom. Knowing I'm surrounded with so much support and extremely comforting. Thank you. It's from Mr. Gray. So I just want to share that out in the open that we did receive that.
Thank you, sir. All right, that's all we have on our agenda this evening. The next item is Mr. McDaniel.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
I'm afraid I'm